Injury systems are very complicated, but let me break it down for you. The first thing I wanted to test before I decided to add one to my game was whether injuries could actually be displayed in the first place without being crazy hard on performance. While there were plenty of cool solutions I found, they were always either lacking some of the features my injury system would need, or were very computationally expensive, so I had to come up with my own solution. How it works is that a type of injury has a drawing of specific colors to go along with it. Blue means remove this part of the body, and red means show this character's blood, with colors in between allowing wounds to be visually smaller or larger depending on the wound severity. This whole section of the drawing is mapped to a limb on the character. This is the left leg, left arm, torso, head, etc, etc. This texture then gets read by the character's shader to know what parts of the model to hide and what parts of the texture to replace with blood. And that's the visuals, technically working. But the problem is, you don't just suddenly spontaneously lose all your limbs. That'd be kinda weird. So we don't actually use this texture directly. What we can do instead is we could go somewhere outside of the game's view and stack various chunks of the textures individually, then render a temporary new texture specific to the player's injuries. And let's just slap a little gore model in there so it doesn't look weird. In multiplayer, we can just stream this texture to our friends. Only one system per player would have to do any processing. This allows us to give the player any specific combo of injuries with little to no processing cost. In order for injuries to, actually do anything, they all have a severity and bleed rate value. These two not only affect how much health you lose per second, but can also affect your stats. Your manipulation stat is mostly held up by your arms, so if you lose both, you can't hold weapons, and if you lose your head, you completely lose perception, making the game look like this. However, there's a few upsides. Losing a limb will make you lighter, allowing you to go crazy far with some abilities, and a lost limb no longer counts within your hitbox, making it easier to dodge things. Not that you're supposed to go out of your way to get or keep injuries, so let's add ways to manage them. For the core of everything, I added a little doll in the inventory. Injuries you get in the game will also affect this doll, and tending to injuries on a doll will heal them on your character. Limb loss is a bit more complicated than that. Losing a body part causes it to be dropped somewhere nearby. You'll have to find it, pick it up, and reattach it via the doll, while being attacked by a horde of enemies, of course. So good luck, Project Chasm on itch.io.